Bolen here, and I've got everything you need to know before you watch this weekend's 2025 Hungarian Grand Prix, including a brief recap of this past weekend's Belgian Grand Prix, which is where we're going to kick things off right now. Bolen! Here's everything you need to know from this past weekend's 2025 Belgian Grand Prix. First and foremost, a lot of people are complaining online about how poorly the start of the F1 Belgian Grand Prix was handled, and I actually do not agree with them. Here's why. Due to wet conditions at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, the FIA race stewards decided to alter the starting procedure of this past weekend's F1 Belgian Grand Prix. Rather than the usual standing start, where the cars all line up stationary on the grid and get going at lights out, the Belgian Grand Prix featured a rain delay of over an hour, followed by a delayed rolling start after 4 laps behind the safety car. A rolling start is a lot like a safety car restart, where the race starts with the cars already moving. The rain delay decision was made by the FIA because they deemed the conditions at what was supposed to be the normal race start too wet for a standing start or rolling start. Then, after the rain delay, they opted for a delayed rolling start instead of a standing start, as delayed rolling starts are seen as safer in wet conditions. This is because they allow for F1 cars to efficiently clear water off the racing line behind the safety car, and also because races theoretically start off with fewer racing incidents when cars are not jockeying for position too wide off the line. So why are all the commenters out in full force insulting the FIA for their decision to eschew standing starts in the name of safety? Because, admittedly, it really didn't look that wet out there. Yes, there was standing water, and there were rooster tails coming off the back of cars before what would have been the normal race start, but it was nowhere near 2021 Belgian Grand Prix conditions out there. It appeared to just be rainy rather than very rainy, which made the FIA's decision to declare a rain delay an interesting one, as Formula One cars are capable of racing in the rain, and rainy races are often some of the most memorable. Additionally, after the rain delay, every driver opted to use the intermediate tires, meaning it obviously was not super wet anymore, or else they would have been on the full wet tires. So it was another interesting decision that we did not then get a standing start on intermediates, and we got that delayed rolling start. So if I agree with the commenters that the circuit did not look wet enough to force a rain delay followed by a rolling start, why do I disagree with them and think the race start was not poorly handled? Because this is not just any F1 circuit we're talking about, it's Spa. The Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps is a dangerous circuit no matter the conditions, having tragically claimed the life of F2 driver Antoine Hubert in 2019 in dry conditions, as well as F4 driver Delano van 't Hoff in 2023 in wet conditions. Because of this, I believe the FIA decided to be extra careful when determining when the track would be safe enough to drive on, and I do not blame them for that, even if it made the race less exciting. I truly think that at pretty much any other circuit besides Spa, we would have gotten a standing start at some point. After Van 't Hoff's death, Max Verstappen said, "Looking at how wet it was and these kind of things, we have to look at it for the future to look at what we can do better to protect drivers." And I believe that that is what the FIA was doing when they decided to play it safe with the rain at Spa. What are your thoughts on how the start of the Belgian Grand Prix was handled? Let me know in the comments. Next up, here are the biggest results from the F1 Belgian Grand Prix weekend. Sprint races barely exist, but Max Verstappen did win the Belgian Grand Prix sprint race from P2 on the starting grid after overtaking Oscar Piastri on lap 1, and déjà vu, Oscar Piastri learned a thing or two from that and went on to win the Belgian Grand Prix from P2 on the starting grid after overtaking his McLaren teammate Lando Norris on lap 1. Looks like P2 on the starting grid at Spa is the real P1. Lando Norris would still manage a P2 result to give McLaren another 1-2 finish this season, as his gap to Oscar in the World Drivers' Championship increased to 16 points. Charles Leclerc finished P3, barely ahead of Max Verstappen in P4, and George Russell finished P5 in what was a disappointing weekend for Mercedes after they finished 1-2 asterisk in Belgium last season. P6 impressively went to Williams' Alex Albon, who had an impressive qualifying and then another points finish to make it 2 straight Grand Prix points finishes for him after 3 straight DNFs before those. Lewis Hamilton recovered from P18 on the starting grid to impressively finish P7. Liam Lawson got just his 3rd Grand Prix points finish of the season in P8. Gabby Bortoleto got just his 2nd Grand Prix points finish ever in P9. And Pierre Gasly snuck into the points at P10. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I did not mention how Jackie Ickx just gave us maybe the greatest checkered flag wave in recent Formula One or any motorsport history that was completely reminiscent of the F1 days of old. It was like the polar opposite of Tim Apple's zero energy abomination of a flag wave back in 2022 at COTA. What was that, Tim? Real quick before I move on, it would be awesome if you could please toss this video a like, because I'm trying to hit 5,000 likes on it so that YouTube likes me, Elbone, more, and shows my race previews and recaps to more people this season. It's 100% free to like this video, and it truly does help me out in a big way, so thanks for considering doing so. Elbone! Our final order of business before we move on to discussing the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix, we need to talk about how my 3 bona fide F1 Belgian Grand Prix race predictions ended up. My first race prediction was that Oscar Piastri would win the Belgian Grand Prix, and ding ding, Elbone got that one right. Elbone! I told all of you, that Oscar just had a better handle on Spa than his McLaren teammate Lando Norris, and if you believe me, you'd have been right too. Elbone! Let's be real, if you saw the electric Spa sim racing content that Oscar was putting out on his social media leading up to the race weekend, you'd have known that this prediction was going to hit just like I did. My second race prediction was that Nico Hülkenberg would not finish in the points, and ding ding, Elbone also got that one right. Okay, actually, hold on. I'm not happy about this, because I always root for Hulk. I think it's because I have long Haas delusion syndrome that still exists surrounding Hulk, even though he's no longer on Haas. So I'm going to treat this one like a soccer player scoring against their old team and just say, Elbone. Elbone. My third race prediction was that Isaac Hadjar would finish in the points, and after Hadjar qualified an impressive P8, I thought I had this one absolutely in the bag. Sadly, though, Hadjar had a shambolic race and somehow finished dead last as the only driver to get lapped. So yeah, this prediction literally could not be further away from hitting, but 2 for 3 ain't bad. Elbone will take it. That puts me at 18 for 39, aka 46% on the season with my F1 race predictions, which, yes, means I could go back to being J-Bone as soon as this weekend if my 3 Hungarian Grand Prix predictions all hit. So stay tuned for those as they are coming at you very shortly. Elbone for now. All right, enough about Belgium. It's time to look ahead and talk about this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix. But first, if you're looking for a pair of sunglasses that are high quality and affordable, I have found them for you by way of my sponsor, Goodr Sunglasses. Not only are all Goodr sunglasses 100% polarized, made of high quality yet lightweight materials, and specially designed to not slip or bounce while on your face, but Goodr's sunglasses also start at just $25. Yes, $25, so they don't break the bank and your day will not be ruined if you happen to lose them. I'll be honest, I recently lost my Goodrs in my move to the new studio. So yeah, I need to buy another pair, but guess what? It's only $25, so I'm not that upset. If you're someone who always loses their sunglasses like me, Elbone, Goodrs are the only choice. Because of all that, it should be no surprise that Goodr sunglasses have 50,000 plus 5-star reviews. And if you somehow aren't yet convinced that you need Goodrs, they come in a ton of styles and colors, so you're sure to find something you'll love. If you want to support the show and try a pair, Goodr is giving Formula Bone listeners free shipping. You can go to goodr.com/fbone and use code FBONE for free shipping. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's goodr.com/fbone and use code FBONE for free shipping. The 2025 Formula 1 Hungarian Grand Prix takes place this weekend at the Hungaroring in Magyarország, Godaló, Pest County, Central Hungary, Europe, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Laniakea Supercluster, Universe, Multiverse, Simulation. The Hungarian Grand Prix weekend starts this Friday, August 1st, which will consist of free practices 1 and 2. Saturday, August 2nd will consist of free practice 3 and qualifying. And Sunday, August 3rd will consist of the 41st ever running of Hungary's national car race and the 40th running of the Hungarian Grand Prix as part of the F1 World Championship. Interestingly, the first ever Hungarian Grand Prix took place in 1936, 14 years before the formation of the Formula 1 World Championship. And then another Hungarian Grand Prix did not take place until 50 years later in 1986. That first ever Hungarian Grand Prix took place on a circuit that ran through Budapest's biggest public park, Napleget. F1 never ended up racing at Napleget, though a Hungarian Grand Prix was scheduled to be run there in 1984 before being cancelled. When the Hungarian Grand Prix finally did return, it was 2 years later in 1986 with Formula 1 at the newly built Hungaroring 30 minutes away from Napleget. This race, the 1986 Hungarian Grand Prix, was the first F1 race held behind the so-called Iron Curtain, aka the Soviet Eastern Bloc, and it was held to so much fanfare that it set a new F1 attendance record that stood for 9 years afterwards. The Hungarian Grand Prix may have started off with a 50-year absence, but it's currently on a streak of 40 straight years being run and 40 straight years on the F1 calendar, making it one of F1's longest tenured Grand Prix. The Hungarian Grand Prix's Hungaroring circuit is 4.381 kilometers or 2.72 miles in length, and the Hungarian Grand Prix will be contested over the course of 70 laps around its 14 turns. The Hungarian Grand Prix's Hungaroring is one of the highest downforce circuits in all of Formula One, and here's why. First, the Hungaroring's circuit design puts a much larger emphasis on corners than on straights. This means teams need to build their cars for cornering speed rather than for straight line speed, or as the F1 movie's Sonny Hayes would put it, they need to build them for combat. Doing so will increase drag and lower their car's top speed on the straights, but in turn, they should make back the time they lose on the straights and then some across the Hungaroring's many corners. Along with its circuit design, another reason why the Hungaroring is such a high downforce circuit is because its track surface offers little grip. This is due to the Hungaroring's location in a dusty valley, its general lack of use over the course of a year, and also its bumpiness. Because the track surface is providing less grip than normal, you need to provide some more of your own by adding downforce. And to make downforce even more important in Hungary, the Hungaroring is narrow and has quite little runoff area, meaning if drivers do go over the limit of their car's ability to stay on track, their lap times can really make them pay the price for it. Because of all this, you will see teams adding higher downforce packages to their cars than you just saw in Belgium, where straight line speed is super important in sectors 1 and 3. If you're looking for a nice visual representation of this increase in cars' downforce specs, you'll notice that cars' rear wings will be larger this weekend compared to race weekends at more balanced circuits, as rear wings are one of the most important downforce components, which is obviously why they are where DRS systems are installed on F1 cars. Speaking of DRS, the Hungaroring features 2 DRS activation zones that share one detection line. The first DRS zone is down the main straight, and the second is down the mini straight just after turn 1. And that detection line is on the entry to the circuit's final turn, turn 14. These 2 linked DRS zones are far and away the most important parts of the circuit, as they are arguably the only spot that drivers should be able to overtake when car damage, tire strategy, or similar advantages are not in play. This means that in Hungary, you will be seeing drivers fight tooth and nail to defend their position from turn 14 through turn 2, as they'll know that if they're able to do so, it most likely means that they will be safe for the rest of the lap until they get back to turn 14 again. Just ask Fernando Alonso, who used this to his advantage in 2021 to help his teammate Esteban Ocon win the Hungarian Grand Prix for Alpine in what was one of my favorite races I've ever seen live. As in, I watched it on TV, I wasn't there, unfortunately. Next up, here are the big F1 storylines you need to be following for this weekend's F1 Hungarian Grand Prix. Your first storyline, F1 returns to the scene of the crime. What crime? Theft. When McLaren stole a race win from Lando Norris last season. I'm kidding. Just kidding. But we are returning to the site of arguably the most dramatic showdown from the 2024 season, when Lando Norris defied team orders and refused to give first place back to his teammate Oscar Piastri. He eventually did so, but not before making all of us watching around the world freak out and wonder if Lando was really about to screw over his teammate like that. Certainly the events of 2024 will be fresh in the minds of both Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris in 2025, except this time, they're actually fighting each other for the World Drivers' Championship instead of it just being Lando fighting Max, so I think it's legitimately possible that if the same thing happened now, Lando would not give the place back. I really hope that we see something like that go down this weekend. That would be unbelievable. Your second storyline, the F1 World Constructors' Championship battle right now is absolutely incredible from top to bottom. Okay, well, I should say from just below the top to bottom, since McLaren all but have their second consecutive World Constructors' Championship wrapped up already. Aside from that, though, there's an incredible battle going on between Ferrari, Mercedes, and Max Verstappen for P2, P3, and P4. Then, just 50 points separate P5 from P10. This is maybe the most competitive F1 has ever been from top to bottom, and I fully expect a bunch of movement in the World Constructors' Championship from now through the end of the season, and I'm very here for it. What a battle we have going on right now from every single direction. Your third storyline, are Mercedes okay? After achieving a double podium finish in Canada just 4 races ago, which was good enough for 40 championship points, Mercedes have only combined for 21 championship points across the next 3 Grand Prix weekends. Whether you want to blame the Max Verstappen to Mercedes distraction, their rookie driver Kimi Antonelli, who's been held scoreless since his Canada podium, or the car, or something else, I don't know. Something is off with Mercedes. Maybe they can fix it at the Hungaroring, a circuit at which they've won many times, and also a circuit at which they have been on pole at 3 of the last 4 seasons. However, I wouldn't really bank on it considering they're usually good at Silverstone and Spa, and they did not do very well there. Next up, here's how L-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race is looking entering the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend. As a reminder, I'm judging the F1 rookies all season long based on their performances relative to their cars, not just points scored. After each race, I award my last place rookie 0 points and my first place rookie 5 points, and the winner of L-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race will be the rookie with the most points come the end of the season. Simple enough. Here's how my 2025 rookie standings looked entering the Belgian Grand Prix, and here are my Belgian Grand Prix rookie rankings. In last place, it's Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli, who did not make it out of Q1 in a Mercedes before only going on to finish the race P16. He also had an awful sprint portion of the weekend too. In 5th place, it's Alpine rookie Franco Colapinto, who had pretty much equally as bad a weekend as Kimi, but who gets the benefit of the doubt over Kimi as he's in a worse car. In 4th place, it's VCarb rookie Isaac Hadjar, who was having a great weekend up until the Grand Prix. His P8 in the sprint and P8 qualifying position had him in the running for this week's top rookie before he went on and finished the Grand Prix in last place as the only lapped driver. In 3rd place, give me Haas rookie Ollie Behrman, who finished P7 in the sprint and then just barely missed out on the points in the Grand Prix by finishing P11. In 2nd place, I have VCarb rookie Liam Lawson, who finished in the top 10 in the sprint and then an impressive P8 in the Grand Prix. And in 1st place, I have Sauber rookie Gabby Bortoletto, who barely missed out on the points in the sprint by 1 position at P9, then made Q3 in Grand Prix qualifying unlike his solid teammate Hulk, and then finished an impressive and consistent P9 in the Grand Prix. So here are the updated L-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race standings entering the Hungarian Grand Prix. Let me know your thoughts on them in the comments. Next up, here are J-Bone's F1 Hungarian Grand picks brought to you by Grid Rivals Picks Game. Grid Rivals Picks Game gives race fans like you and me the chance to turn our F1 knowledge into money simply by making correct race predictions on the Grid Rival app. And here are my Grid Rival picks for this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix that I'm hoping to turn into some dough. This is absolutely not financial advice, but for what it's worth, I am currently on the F1 prediction run of my life right now on Grid Rival, having gone an absurd 24 for 27 with my predictions there since May 29th. What's going on right now? Can't do any predictions here on this channel, but apparently on Grid Rival I'm great. My first Hungarian Grand pick is Oscar Piastri to finish worse than P2. All I need is Oscar to not win the race, and I either push or win. Give me that all day with Lando right there battling him, and if Oscar does win, all I can do is tip my cap. My second pick is George Russell to finish P5 or worse. Despite Mercedes' success at this circuit over the years and how George has been on pole at the Hungaroring before, I just don't trust the Mercedes car right now with some of the shocking results that it's been logging. My third pick is Lewis Hamilton to finish P5 or better. He's won this race a record 8 times before, enough said. And my final pick is Franco Colapinto to finish P17 or better. Listen, you give me this many positions for a guy who's logged multiple points finishes in his career in a car that just finished in the points last race, and I'm going to take them despite the poor form Franco's in. If all 4 of these hit, I'll be turning $5 into $50, and whether you want to follow my Grid Rival Hungarian Grand picks, do the exact opposite of them because you think I'm wrong, or make your own entirely different picks, you can get a $100 deposit match when you use my code BONE on the Grid Rival app, which you can download through the unique download link in the description now. Terms and conditions and agent location restrictions apply, and lines may have changed since this recording. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, here are my 3 bona fide race predictions for the 2025 F1 Hungarian Grand Prix that are about to transform L-Bone back into J-Bone! Man, it feels crazy saying that. I cannot wait to say J-Bone more. Please, please. I'm currently sitting at 18 for 39, aka 46% on the season with my F1 race predictions. The fact that I'm below 50% means my name is currently L-Bone instead of the usual J-Bone on account of how many prediction L's I've taken. However, if I go 3 for 3 with my Hungarian Grand Prix race predictions right now, that will bring me up to 21 for 42, which is exactly 50%, meaning L-Bone could turn right back into J-Bone! I really want to say that more. It feels so good. All right, here's the predictions. My first race prediction is that Lando Norris will win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Please don't be a Lando jinx. Please don't be a Lando jinx. People are quick to remember that Oscar Piastri won last year's Hungarian Grand Prix and quick to forget that Lando Norris was on pole at last year's Hungarian Grand Prix before a bad race start and a questionable Max Verstappen move paired together to ruin his race out the gate. Lando will have a Hungarian chip on his shoulder after last season's team order shenanigans, and I think he'll use it to power himself to a victory. My second race prediction is that Lewis Hamilton will finish ahead of his Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc in Hungary. Lewis Hamilton has won an insane 8 Hungarian Grand Prix in his career and appears to be getting more and more comfortable in the Ferrari car, and that is why I like him to finish ahead of his Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc for just the 3rd time this season in Hungary. My third race prediction is that Esteban Ocon will finish in the points. Who can forget Esteban Ocon's iconic win at the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2021? Certainly not me, Elbone, for now. Maybe it's the nostalgia, maybe it's the fact that I have Haas delusion syndrome, but whatever it is, I like Esteban Ocon to finish in the points in Hungary despite the fact that he only has 2 points finishes in his last 5 Grand Prix. Next up, here's my prediction for the top 5 finishers in the 2025 Hungarian Grand Prix with zero reasoning nor explanation. P5 Charles Leclerc, P4 Max Verstappen, P3 Lewis Hamilton, P2 Oscar Piastri, and P1 Lando Norris. Now for the most important part of this video. What are your predictions for the 2025 Hungarian Grand Prix? Let me see them in the comments. Toss me a subscription now and ring that notification bell so that you'll get my Hungarian Grand Prix recap video next week right when it drops. And while you're doing that, do not forget to like this video so that YouTube likes Elbone more. It really helps me out. Just go do it right now. Do it now. Do it. Special shout out to my top YouTube channel members: Joe Max's number one hitter Snow, Brian Linton, Wolf Loves Racing, Waffleopicus, Melissa Cruz, Elmar Zuber, the Tater, and David Hey! Mash that join button just below this video to get your name shouted out right here in future videos. And if you want to join 1,000 plus F1 fans in the free to join Formula Bone Discord community, you can go do that through the join link in the description. Until next time, folks, Elbone! Burn out! Elbone!